Akash Inti, the real reflection of you. I was reading a quote somewhere along the lines of decisions ought to be made in 7 breaths. For in that time span, you'll find the clearest thinking, or something along those lines. It's a quote from, I want to say it's either an ancient Japanese samurai, or it was a Japanese quote in some way, shape, or form. I thought it was really interesting, right? The idea that to measure time in breaths, right, rather than measuring time in, seconds or whatever, right? It's measuring time by the livingness of a being versus some arbitrary thing. And the other part of just how much time is 7 breaths. Now, I think by now I'm on perhaps my 4th. And how we can slow or fasten's not necessarily even a word. Quicken, fasten is a word, or increase the pace of our breathing. One thing I find in karate and yoga, meditation, is the importance of breath. It's really the essential component of our living as human beings. It's the only thing that we have, really, that makes us alive. That, our breathing, and our blood, our heart beating. It's the simplicity of breathing that really makes it, incredible. Got a new shirt, repping the company, in case you couldn't see that earlier. Got some merch, if you will, and excited about it. It's small. It's like, how much did it really take to go and print out a t-shirt with a logo that I have on it? Not much, right? It's like, you do this, you do that, you do that. And at the same time, it's huge for me too, right? It's like, I'm actually seeing my business, right? It's like, this is like it's like a real reminder, and not only a reminder, but it's like it's a true manifestation of the idea, and it's coming along. It's moving along. We just celebrate 1 year this month. So 1 year later, got a sweatshirt. If I look back as to when I started the company itself, that decision, if I really think about it, was probably made within the span of 7 breaths. Now, there's been a lot of work since then, and there's a lot of decisions that have come since then, but that first idea, that first decision to make the company, well, there was some action that must have been taken within that span. I'm kind of proud of that, Decision is really, it's an interesting thing, right? It's like when you decide, or when anyone decides, when I decide, when you decide, whenever anyone decides, life is fundamentally changed. Now, it could be a small decision like deciding to hydrate and have some water. It could be a little bit bigger of a decision like deciding to, purchase a car. A little bit bigger than getting a glass of water. Or maybe not. For some people, it's like no big deal. Could even be a bigger decision like deciding to commit to a lifelong discipline. Now, each decision doesn't take much other than that that knowingness of commitment. Right? It's all in the mind. It's that decision in the mind. That's all it is. It's just that decision. And sticking with it more than anything. through thick and thin, through high and low, through left and right, through deep and shallow. Matters not where one goes when one makes a decision. Matters not the conditions around them. None of that matters. All that matters is that moment, that decision that's been made. Now, that doesn't mean things can't change throughout time, and maybe that decision doesn't hold as much weight. But the ones that do, they stick, and they carry a lot, so. That's all we got for today. Decide, decide, decide. Keep up, thrive, and stay sexy.